This is the system that I teach, which is I call it the Path of Wisdom card system, but originally it was called the Karma system by Zolar. And it uses cards 7 through Ace, which is 7, 8, 9, 10, Jack, Queen, King, and Ace. And it's put into 12 houses. This is the first one, the second one, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 houses. And all of this is to take place in 1 year or less. And the first house represents happening in 1 day or week. The second house in 2 days, weeks, or months. So this is 1 day, week, or month, 2 day, week, or month, 3 days, weeks, or within 3 months, 4 days, weeks, or months, 5 days, weeks, or months, 6 days, weeks, or months. I'm not trying to be repetitious. I want to make sure everybody understands the way it's running. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it would be 12 days, weeks, or months, or within a year or sooner, of course. And like I said, it uses the cards 7 through Ace. And the first cards we put down could be, you shuffle the cards, and it could be any card but the 7 would go down. The 7 acts as an indicator card, which means when you shuffle, if you come to a 7, the card after the 7, if it's not another 7, goes on the bottom. And this is, the 10 is the bottom card, and the 8 is the top card. The King is the bottom card, the 10 is the top card. So on the bottom card, you cannot have a 7. So the card you put over it can be a 7 after you fill up the whole 12 rows with just the first card. Because each one of the 12 rows has 2 cards, but the first bottom card cannot be a 7. Then when you fill all the rows, the second time, all the first rows, the second time around, you can put down the 7s. And this system also has what they call double cards, which I'll explain. Well, first of all, if we look at the layout, we have 9 face cards. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So when you, in other words, there's 24 cards. You have 12 houses, 2 cards in each house, or each segment, which is 1 through 12. So if you had 9, theoretically you should have 7 diamonds, 7 clubs, 7 spades, or 6 diamonds, clubs, spades, and hearts. And you should only have 6 face cards. So if you have 9 face cards, you means you'll be around a large group of people within the next year. If you now in this setup, there's 6 diamonds, which would make sense, 6, 12, 18, 24, if there was an equal distribution of diamonds, spades, clubs, and hearts. And you have 5 hearts. That means somebody won't be attending, concerned about their personal situations. You have 7 spades. Now that is a little heavier than the 6, which would be the average. So they'll be taking care of some problems in this period. And there's 6 clubs. So there's not a real big imbalance, except that a lot of face cards. And of the face cards, it seems like there's 2 males on top, an older and younger male in the middle, and 3 males on the bottom. So it's mostly males that they'll be dealing with, a group of predominantly males. Now there are a couple of female cards, but predominantly males, so they'll be mostly dealing with males. Now in House 1, you have the 10 of diamonds and the 8 of diamonds. And right below the 10 of diamonds is the 9 of diamonds, which indicates extra money. So there's something coming in about a small gift or payment of money, or some steady money that seems to be coming in in one day, week, or month because it's in the first house. Now, in the second column, there's an adult or older male. There's something about an illness, which is indicated by the 10 of spades. And there's a change in time because when you have two tens, it represents a change in times. And when you have two kings, it means some dealing with somebody in uniform or a policeman or a medic or something like that. So there's a change in times. And the dealing seems to be positive because they're both red. And the change in time seems to be neutral because it's a red card and a black card. So there's something about an illness that concerns an adult or older male is the way we're reading this. And that's to happen in 2 days, weeks, or months, and there'll be a change in times with some legal situation or dealing with a law situation or important papers or a legal or insurance matter. In 3 days, weeks, or months, there's a message or some news which is indicated by the Ace of Diamonds, and it seems to be concerning a dark-haired adult or older male. In the fourth column, so this is to happen in 3 days, weeks, or months. In the fourth column, we have the 9 of clubs, which means for sure, and the 7 of spades indicates a delay in some plans, or some plans do not take place. In the fifth column, we have something about extra money because it's the 9 of diamonds, and the 7 of hearts has to do with some pleasant news. So the pleasant news has something to do with extra money in 5 days, weeks, or months, or within 5 months. In the sixth column, it's just like the neighbor, the second column. You have a legal or a police matter, a change in times. But the 10 of hearts indicates a bright future, as the meaning of the 10 of hearts, where the 10 of spades up here had something to do with an illness. Now, in 7 days, weeks, or months, there'll be some gossip or something concerning a female. And it's a dark-haired female because it's a dark card. I don't feel it's too bad because there's a red card right below it. Now, in 8 days, weeks, or months, some wedding news that seems to concern a young male, M-A-L-E. Now, in 9 days, weeks, or months, there's some work or business concern involving a young male that you'll be hearing about. That's the way we read it. 10 of clubs is a business worry. Now, in 10 days, weeks, or months, there's some threat or concern concerning a female. Sometimes it means somebody that's unfriendly, a neighbor, or a coworker, or whatever, but an unfriendly female. Now, in 11 days, weeks, or months, a young male helps you out or goes out of his way for you. And in 12 days, weeks, or months, there's some change in plans concerning a young male. So this is the way you read it. It gives you a time element, and the double cards have its own meaning. And of course, you read how many spades, diamonds, or clubs are in the setup here. And it was pretty even, except spades was a tinge more, so the person would be concerning about worries. But what I like about this is when you have double cards, it's double meanings. And when they're in adjoining houses like this, it involves 2 days, weeks, or months, and as well as 6 days, weeks, or months. So sometimes it's a carryover from a different period. But that's what I like about the Path of Wisdom card system. It's interesting. But like I said, the bottom card's the most important, and the second card can be a 7, but the first layout, when you fill the first 12 squares, cannot be a 7. I'm going to be going over this kind of a reading again, and like I said, it's very good. All of this is to happen in a year or less.